welcome to this video on using Microsoft Office. In the first video we looked at how to access Microsoft Office when you're at home by using your email address and your password. Now in this video we're going to look at one of the main uses of Office 365 when you're doing a course with Skills and Learning, which is to access and send messages between yourself and your tutor, and to access files that your tutor has set up for you so you can use them at home. Now in order to do that, you've got to get into the Teams section or the Teams app within Office 365. So let's have a look at this thing that I've got here, which is the Office window. And if I go to full screen, so here we are in Microsoft Office. Down the left hand side we've got the icons for the different apps, and this icon, the blue one that's got the T on it, when I point at it, it says go to Teams. So if you can't see that icon for some reason, you should be able to, but let's say you can't see it within those, remember that you can access all of the apps for Microsoft Office 365 using this waffle icon next to the word Office on the blue bar at the top. So there's my Teams, but if I click on the waffle, as it's called, there are all the icons again, and there's Teams. So let's access Teams that way. I'll just click on Teams. Now before I do it, let's just come off that a second. Notice that we've got one tab here on this web browser at the top at the moment. So let's go back again, click on this, click on Teams, and what you notice straight away is a new tab is now opened. So Microsoft Office 365 is still there, and we are opening a new tab for Office Teams. Now what it's done then, it's gone into Teams and it's showing all the teams that are available to me. Now when you go into Teams you won't see this many. You might only actually see one, or you might not even see any of these. It might take you straight into your team. If you see choices like this, you just click on the team that applies to you for the lesson or the topic that you're doing. Now I set up a sample one, so let's click on this sample team, and this is the sort of thing you should see. You'll have the team icon here at the top, then we'll have things like the home page, class notebook, assignments and so on, and perhaps the most important section of the team page is this bit here, the channels. The general channel is the channel that's sort of aimed at everybody within your group. So you can see here, you can send messages to everybody in the group, and you'll also within the channels usually have your name as well. Now I set this up as an example using Michelle, okay, but your name should be there instead of Michelle's. Now let's look at the first of the two main things you use Teams for, which is messaging. If I'm in the general channel and I send a message using this new conversation button, that message goes to everybody in the team, and the same would apply with you. So you've got into the team, you're on the general channel, you want to send a message to everybody, you click on new conversation. That brings up this dialog box at the bottom. You just type in your message that you want to say, like that. You can format it using the formatting tool here to change the font or the size or that sort of thing. You can attach documents if you want to, or other options down here. I'll let you experiment with those rather than showing you myself. And then to send a message, you either just press the enter key on your keyboard, or you can use the send icon over here. I'll just click on that, send, and there goes the message. And as I say, that would go to everybody who is in this team, okay, because we are on the general channel. Now while we're still on the general channel, you would also go on that one, if you wanted to access files that your tutor has made available to you. So we're on General Channels again. Up at the top of the Teams page here we've got Files, and if I click on Files, you can see here that within the Files section we've got a Class Materials folder, and when I click on that one, that opens up and we've got a document here that the tutor has left for the whole of the team to access. So this might well be a document that's been used in that lesson, or the lesson that you just had. If I click on this, for example, notice again we've got two tabs at the top at the moment. When I click on this, point at it there and click. Now this time it hasn't opened a new tab, it stayed within Teams and it's opened a document. So this is the document that's been made available to the group. We've got a set of links in that might have been used in the lesson. One example is the Learner Handbook. Okay, and we've got something, let's have a look, called Learn My Way down here, and a link to a typing tutor. Let's try that one, the typing tutor. Click on that. A new tab opens and it takes us straight to the typing tutor. Okay, and if I come back to the Teams tab by clicking on the tab at the top here, not on the cross but on the tab. In order to get back to the Teams page away from this document, I would now need to use the back icon, the back arrow icon. So I'm still in Teams here, but I'm looking at a document. I want to go back to the standard Teams page, so I use that arrow, click, and it takes us back into Teams. Okay, still in Class Materials, so I want to go back to the General page. I click on General there, and there we are, back in the messaging section. Okay, so to access files in the General channel on the Files page. Now, having said that, there will be occasions when you want to send messages just to your tutor, or your tutor might want to make files accessible just to you. That's what the name section or the name channel is for. So let's have a look at that now. If I go to Michelle's channel, if Michelle was using this Teams page and she clicked on her name here, if she started a new conversation and sent a message within that, hello there, sent the message, that message would be accessible or seen only by me, because that is her private channel with the tutor who is running this team. Okay, so to send a private message to your tutor, maybe telling them about an absence or something of that sort, you would click on your private channel and send a message as normal. Okay, so General channel is to send a message to everybody, your private channel to send a message just to the tutor. The other use for the private channel is for files which are private to you. So if I click on Files here for Michelle, we can see we've got one document in there, and if I click on that, this document that's appearing is one that we use for assessment within lessons. It's called an individual learning plan, and this would be private to the tutor and to Michelle only. Okay, because she's putting personal information in there, that document is only available in the private channel, so only her and her tutor can see that. Okay, again, to get out of that document, we use the back arrow. We're returned to the private channel for Michelle, still in the Files section. If I click on General, we now come out of Michelle's private channel into the General one, and we can see the general messages that we've sent before. Okay, so we can send messages to the whole group. We can go into our private channel and send messages to our tutor if we want to do that. We can access files for the whole group in general, or private files that are used just between individuals and their tutor by clicking on your name. Okay, and those are the main uses for Teams within classes. Your tutor will use Teams for other things, mainly organisational things within the group. Have a go at using Teams yourself. Try out going into the different channels and try out things like the formatting to see how that works. Send a message to your tutor by all means to see how that works, and hopefully you'll get a reply. Give Teams a go.